Alright, we got like 9 missions that are like talk to someone on the bridge. We gotta talk to Nomos, Idara, Abelard twice. He's 2 of them. Voxmaster, Raver. Your Light, Abelard. Not that. Not that. Marzai. Completed development. It's on the list, alright? Hey, what about my contracts? I haven't been checking this. I keep forgetting. People up, game provisions? Sure. Take some people. Can't do that. Can't do that. Provisions for Promethium. Seems like a good trade. Plasteel for people. A good trade. Profit. Whoa. Profit for Phlogiston? Sure. Profit for Xenotech? Sure. Can't do that. Jesus Christ. Xenotech for weapons? Not a great deal. Okay. Now, let's see. Abelard, you're first.
Lord Captain, allow me to express my gratitude once again for your assistance. If it weren't for your intervention, my entire family could have been executed on false charges. I could have lost them all. I never imagined the Viserians would be so vulnerable, while I serve as seneschal to the Lord Captain herself, far from home.
You know, it's just, like, I'm just thinking that if you're doing the heretic path, during that quest, you probably just have Abelard's family die, don't you? Like, it just seems so unimaginable. But it's like, the evil option is always so cartoonish. Like, oh yeah, this guy who's been nothing but loyal the whole time, let's just have his whole family die. I assume that's what happens anyway. That's usually how these things go.
To tell you the truth, Lord Captain, this whole situation has got me thinking. As patriarch of the Viserian family, I have a responsibility to my bloodline. Yes, it is my duty to serve as seneschal to the rogue trader, and I have no intention of relinquishing that role if you find my service as satisfactory as did Lady Theodora. However, if I could be more involved in my family's affairs and still serve the von Valancius dynasty.
What do you want? Tell me plainly.
Under Lady Theodora, I served as steward of the Trade Protectorate on more than one occasion. In that capacity, I was based on Dargonus, rather than traveling with the rogue trader on the flagship. If it would be possible, after the immediate need for my presence is over, I would like to return to that position. To oversee the Trade Protectorate on the capital world, while at the same time presiding over the Viserian family, and using my authority to help elevate it.
I understand your desire. Traditions and old ways must change. I will allow you to return to Dagonis after the immediate crisis in the Expanse has passed.
Thank you, Lord Captain. Under my watch, the Trade Protectorate will remain safe and prosper, in service to you. Well then, Lord Captain, it is time I return to my duties. Is there anything else I can do for you?
What is this coming from? Where is... Why? Do the words Epitaph, Incident N872-04, or Tech Blight mean anything to you? They're connected to Theodora somehow. I have no idea where this information is coming from.
No, definitely not. No, I don't recall anything like that.
Okay.
Lord Captain.
Who else do we need to talk to? That's Footfall. Nomos, Idara, Voxmaster, and Draver. Let's see. Do you recall anything unusual about Theodora's travels? Do the words Epitaph, Incident N872-04, or Tech Blight ring a bell?
All of Lady Theodora's journeys could be considered unusual. Her odysseys were always audacious. As for the words you mentioned, none of them sound familiar to me as far as I can tell. Except maybe the incident. I recall coming across this word in transmission several times. I think it was repeated by the former Enginseer, the one who perished during Kunrad Voigtgear's uprising. Now,
Vigdis, I'm not trying to talk down to you or anything, but does the word incident by itself really mean anything in this context? I can think of a lot of things I would label as incident.
He was describing it as the incident, something quite remarkable. Apparently at some point in the past, the entire ship was hit by a massive system failure. All systems stopped responding for 1/5 of a second.
Oh god, no. How terrible.
Most of the crew, including myself, as I was likely on board at that time, did not notice anything strange, but tech priests are sensitive to such things. That's all I can tell you, Lord Captain. I wish I could help more.
My personal log states that the ship's Vox system is malfunctioning. Can you explain?
Lord Captain.
The Vox Master is caught off guard by your question. It takes her a moment to find her words.
The Vox system is functioning as expected, and no communication problems have been reported by any of the crew. Please allow me to check the system's calibration settings in your presence to alleviate any concerns you may have about its performance.
The Vox Master's thin fingers dart between hundreds of wires and cables on the control panel, flipping switches and turning dials. She issues commands and methodically checks the lines of communication with crew on every deck. At last, accompanied by the sound of static, the crackling of the Vox, and the flickering of signaling lights, the dance of her hands concludes.
All finished, Lord Captain. No issues detected. The system is working as expected.
She studies your face as she awaits your response. Thank you for your service, Mistress Toilmon.
Lord Captain.
She offers an unusually deep bow, likely using it to mask her confusion. Fair enough. There were more options because we never spoke to you even once. Remind me who you are.
Voxmaster Octavius Vigdis Suriota of the Toilman dynasty, the current Voxmaster serving aboard your vessel. We have spoken approximately 157 times previously. In accordance with the Seneschal's orders, I assumed this duty immediately upon the demise of the esteemed Voxmaster Septimus, who was my grandfather.
What are the Voxmaster's duties?
I am the ears and voice of this void ship. I supervise several dozen officers and 3 times that number of support personnel. We receive, send, encrypt, and decode all incoming and outgoing messages throughout the ship's internal and external channels. We also ensure clean communications and the optimal efficiency of the crew's Voxcasters. If you would ever want to know what worries and concerns your crew are harboring, what your subjects are whispering about in local networks after their watches, and what their leaders are clamoring about over shortwave Vox transmissions, just come and see me. I will satisfy your curiosity.
Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately?
Perhaps you would be interested in a Vox transmission I intercepted not long ago, Lord Captain. The thoroughly encrypted message contained the coordinates of a landing site on a certain planet marked as rare cargo. I have not been able to uncover anything else, but I believe the encryption was intended for those who are involved in unsanctioned trade activities. A multitude of scout ships tirelessly explore the expanse in search of new resource deposits, but unfortunately not all of them represent the interests of the von Valancius dynasty. I occasionally intercept Vox transmissions from ships prowling in your domain in search of easy loot. An asteroid the size of a small planet has been discovered in Soto's tomb system, and the prospectors believe that there may be a wealth of resources hidden beneath the crust.
Okay. Why do you look so strange?
My appearance comes from my heritage. Generation after generation of people who spent their entire lives in the depths of this void ship. Neither we nor our ancestors have ever left our home, but the same can be said about many denizens of the Imperium's million worlds. We are used to the silence of the cosmos and the voices of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far below, far from the Lord Captain's upper decks, and remain unseen. We are the Voidborn.
Where does the word Voidborn come from? Stupid question, honestly. But
because we're children born in the void between the stars, be it the womb of a traveling vessel, an orbital satellite, or a forgotten asteroid station. Low-gravity voyages through the warp and the countless dangers of space travel. Everything others hate and dread is second nature to us.
Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn in my crew. Should have done this, like, a long time ago, but you know.
To us, the groans, creaks, and murmurs of the ship sound the way babbling brooks and singing birds do to world dwellers. We hear the ship breathe, know what it's feeling and thinking. We are a part of the ship just like it is a part of us. We perform numerous functions, and there are many officers among our number. Some maintain order and prevent mutiny, others serve as shepherds and support the crew, and some devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessel. Most of the Voidborn are members of the large void ship dynasties that bear responsibility for certain aspect of the ship's life. For 300 years, the main branch of the Toilman dynasty has produced the ship's Voxmasters, and most of our subordinates come from the cadet houses of the dynasty.
How do you find life on the ship?
Life has been quite generous to me, Lord Captain. I am the Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. By virtue of my skills and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Our family claims a spacious section for its demoness? Fucking goddamn it. English is a stupid language. I always enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to the sounds of her activity, falling asleep and waking up next to the chanting of hymns, and admiring the stars beyond, of course.
Honestly, that sounds pretty tight. I'd be into that. How do others on the ship treat you?
We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten those people, just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for terrible warp phenomena during longer voyages.
Vigdis hesitates before continuing.
Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larders with our flesh. I would have been killed during the mutiny had Idara Talas not shown up at the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrels' fear of her was even greater than their fear of the Voidborn.
Looks like you're close friends with Idara. Webs of tiny wrinkles appear at the corners of Vigdis's eyes. The only hint of the Voxmaster is smiling.
The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially among the captain's entourage. But you see, many consider Idara to be different. I am different, too. We have spent plenty of time in each other's company, discussing regicide over a glass of amnesec. Except Idara changed after one incident, and we started to drift apart. The death of the Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Idara considers me her friend now, but we used to be very, very close. It is good I can still look after her, in my own way.
This sounds pretty gay, bro.
Interpreting the Voxmaster's emotions based on half of a face and a Vox-modulated voice is no easy task, but you manage to catch the undercurrent in Vigdis's words. The Voxmaster is not merely saddened by her rift with Idara, she's devastated by it.
We should talk to Idara. Have you ever left the ship?
Oh, I did once, and it was dreadful. It felt like the massive blue dome overhead would shatter at any moment and fall, and my bones would be crushed by the gravity. Vigdis twitched her shoulders, trying to ward off the flood of memories. The ship is my home, Lord Captain, and I will not trade it for even a bounty of 100 worlds.
What a novel thought. That's exactly how I feel about going outside as well. Can we do this? Tight. Connect me to the vessel's main channel. I wish to bolster the morale of my crew.
The Voxmaster nods obediently and presses several switches on the device she is holding. It is done, Lord Captain.
You address the crew with a rousing speech, and you hear the Jesus.
And hear your voice roll through the ship, reaching even the normally quiet corners of the vessel.
When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts for approval. That will be all for now. Where's Idara? I want to do that before I forget. You're up here. You're light. Where the fuck does Idara stand? Where is she? I thought she was, like, over here. Oh, there she is. Epitaph, Incident, blah, blah, blah. Do you know these?
They mean nothing to me. They're just words. A whisper. So quiet, I barely caught it. Like a feather landing on a pile of down. Something about damned ambitions, antiquity, terrible antiquity. And chance. Chance through it all. Oh, now I have a headache. And the stupid bloody whisper wasn't much help.
Damn, we can't talk to you about Vigdis? That's extremely disappointing to me. Have you discovered anything more about the door?
No, Lord Captain, not a thing. And I'm wandering from bay to bay, scaring the crew. But don't worry, I'm sure that as soon as we get close, well, there'll be no mistaking it.
Like, is Vigdis in one of these sub-drop downs?
Of
No?
course, Lord Captain. Every sight, sure thing.
Ma'am.
Of
Disappointing. Alright, who else do we need to talk to? I remember Raver was on there. Nomos, Raver. Your Light. That's not actually here. Marzai, right. Your Light, you're next.
The Dark City released us from its thorny embrace. The wounds of the body will heal. But what about the wounds of the soul? Cruderach fell, and its demise shattered the fragile lives of countless children of Osirian. Scattered across this part of the galaxy, hounded by the monkey, pursued by the Dark Cousins, imprisoned by the servants of She Who Thirsts.
You know, I just realized, isn't it kind of fucked up that we were able to get Marzai to stop saying monkey, immediately? But there has been no such opportunity with Your Light to get her to stop saying monkey, despite us traveling with her for presumably months at this point.
Hatred is strangling me like a snake, and fear is coursing through my body like a burning poison. For the path I chose is leading me down the roads of failure. I can neither hold back my grief, nor rein in my anger. And yet, I am powerless to stray from my path. Pay no heed to my fleeting wrath, Anantak. When the will slips away, the soul trembles with rampant emotions. But I will resign my heart to meekness, for there is no other way a marked outcast can help their fellow Eldari wandering in the dark.
I'll be honest, I zoned out by like the first part of that paragraph. Fucking elves, man. Just banging on and on. Many terrible things happened in Kamra. Are you alright?
I found myself in the Dark City after following the twisted roads of truth and lies. And although the truth blossomed like an ugly bud and scratched my soul with its thorns, I did find the answers to my questions. Those who come back from the dark of the webway will never be the same. But it is we who change while the surrounding world remains imminent. This thought gives me strength.
It's okay if we got scarred for the rest of our lives, because that just means we can change, you know? Yeah. Unlike, you know, other things, we can change. It's definitely looking for the silver lining in something, I guess. Cruderach suffered an unenviable fate. I'm sorry your world is lost.
I have no need for your sympathy, Elantar. Besides, neither Monkey nor my dark kin found the decaying remnants of Cruderach. Perhaps all is not lost. Perhaps we may yet bring back what has been taken.
Isn't a lump of it in my office? I don't know, man. I'm not too hopeful, I guess, at that point. What will happen to the seer now?
As soon as Eklendil gathers his strength, he will depart the Lilithon through the Webway Gate. Do not ask where his path takes him. He follows the road of his own destiny. It is as it should be.
So where does the path of the outcast lead you now?
On the trail of a monkey called Caligos Winterscale. Even a worm may harm a wounded tiger by bringing infection into an open wound. And the wounds of my people have been bleeding ever since Cruderach's demise. The spirits of my kin need a poultice, a hope, not the executioner's sword already poised to fall.
Well, we do need to find
You
him,
may
so...
try.
I've been mulling over our conversation, and I can understand why you do not like people, but I think there's something else, something I cannot understand.
What do I see? Your words ring with the desire to know the soul of another. But will you be able to comprehend my answer? You and I, Elantak, look at this world in very different ways. And I see many more facets, and deeper meanings, and brighter colors in it. But to capture the full truth of this world in the miserly language familiar to your ears will take time. I will come to you with an answer later.
Footfall is abuzz with rumors about Xenos ravaging the sector. Do you think it could be your kin from the Cruderarch, even though we know it isn't? I just apparently never asked you about this.
Is that snake venom seeping from your lips? We, the children of Azurian, are no strangers to the art of war. We are not raiders, or butchers, or least of all, fools. When a craft world is beset by calamity, its inhabitants do not start a war with every monkey in the sector. If you are looking for enemies, look for them elsewhere.
All Eldari carry these crystals, spirit stones. I want to know what they are.
You are talking about something you cannot comprehend.
It's so
Talk.
straightforward, dude.
Waystones are not mere trinkets worn by my people. They are something greater. From birth until the last breath, the Spirit Stone belongs only to its owner, serving as an ever-present reminder that we are mortal. For it is the first refuge of the mind and the last refuge of the soul, which Silent Thresh is so eager to devour.
You're talking about something you cannot comprehend. I can explain what a spirit stone is in a paragraph. Like, it's not... You fucking elves, dude.
The souls of the children of Azurian move into the stones after death, and then they become a part of the Infinity Circuit on a craft world, so they can serve their people even when the body is gone. There is no crime more despicable than harming a Waystone and dooming the immortal soul of a child of Azurian to an eternity of torment in the maw of she who thirsts.
Yvrain, the only cool Eldari, very hot, is trying to do something pretty cool with the Infinity Circuit, which is make a god. Like, you know, why not?
We need Waystones.
They went so well last time they made one, right?
Darkness needs starlight, and Monkey need air. And so we are bound to wander the galaxy in search of the old worlds that might give another craft world hope for existence. Each monkey's heart is one of your lives. Each Waystone is the preserved soul of a child of Azurian.
What was your world like before it fell?
Cruderach cannot be described in your language. It can only be sung, encased in a filigree of sounds. A melody as complex and delicate as the Infinity Circuit, its energy network. It can be seen in the golden hues of sunlight, felt in the breath of celestial winds. Though it was an artificial world, it was just as alive as any real planet. But I must see clearly, not only light, but also shadows. I yearn to remember only Cruderach's beauty, but it had a dark side too. My world was isolated for too long. Like a lake of stagnant water, there was no movement or renewal, and even the sweetest outbursts of life soon turned fetid. Who knows? Who knows? Had there been no stagnation, Had our elders not been so blind in their dogmatism and our youths not lacking in courage, then perhaps Cruderach would still be alive even now?
Really didn't do this earlier, huh? How do your craft worlds even work?
Explaining it to you feels like singing a paean to the beauty of deep waters and coral forests to a bird, Alantar.
Shut up.
Your mind's limited understanding of the world can hardly contain the contours of endless wraithbone spires, the intoxicating scent of a garden blooming under a dome of crystal, or the silver babbling of a brook that runs through the whole world. And all this encapsulated in a single vessel that shines like a star on the velvet drape of the void.
I hate fucking elves, dude.
A craft world is a fortress, an ark, and a home to millions of Eldari. It houses webway gates that connect it to the numerous worlds of our kinsmen and armadas of false machines that crush outside enemies. We can all be warriors, and our wrath is terrible to behold should the foe approach. But during the time of peace, each kinsman is free to follow their own path, shielded under the protection of those who follow the paths of the warrior and the seer.
Oh, this is asking for trouble. What can you tell me about the history of the Eldari?
I am afraid your life is too fleeting and your memory too feeble to encompass the entirety of my knowledge.
Really gonna say that in every option,
My
huh?
people ruled the stars when yours did not even have a name. But many of our songs and stories were lost, stolen by she who thirsts. I can tell you the children of Asurion lived, created, caressed the stars as if they were pearls on a string, until Cylon Thresh smothered our empire in her terrifying embrace.
Every fucking dialogue option. You stupid little bitch. You think that your feeble little insignificant mind could possibly comprehend this elven beauty? Yes, you stupid fucking bitch. Shut up, god damn it. Just answer the goddamn question.
Different branches of the Eldari chose different paths to salvation. My ancestors chose an eternal journey through the starry void, living on craft worlds instead of real planets. We rescued countless wonders from the days before, but far from all. You saw this on the Lilithen. Not even we can always master the gates our ancient ones built. This is the story of the Asuriani. There are branches that chose a different path, gruesome and frightening. I do not wish to tell you about them. That is our dark side, just as your kin have many dark sides of their own.
Mara's Eye, like 50 meters away from us. Yeah, indeed, I've never heard of this dark side. So true, so true. You keep mentioning She Who Thirsts. What can you tell me about her? This answer is probably going to be really annoying.
Why ask this question? Is it idle curiosity, or something else? Do not turn your thoughts towards Cylon Thresh, whatever your motive. She is downfall. She is hunger. She is the enemy of all that is good in the universe. She is an enemy to the Eldari, and I hope to you as well.
The Chaos Gods are the enemy of the Imperium, which means they are my enemies. You can be sure of that.
We are as different as starlight and its reflection.
Yeah.
As you wish, Elantark.
Am I still unworthy of discussing your world and your kin? I'm leaving now. Goodbye. I'm tired of talking to you. Alright. Raver. We need to talk to Nomos, of course. So, is there someone else? Marzai, of course. Nomos is over here.
The massive figure of the Malatech Asclepius is frozen before the cogitator in a praying pose. Without raising his head, he addresses you. I salute the ruler of this ship. You were in a servitor's body at my Magnio Assessio, Nomos. So how is it that you are once again in a cogitator? Nomos are not in a cogitator, or in a servitor. We cannot say where we are, but our existence is tied to the existence of the ship for now. The servitor and the cogitator are only external interfaces, shells, like humans and their bodies. So you really are the spirit of the ship? Nomos is silent for a long time, as though mulling over your words. We do not know what we are, but the ship is not us. The ship is our cradle. We may rise from it one day. We would like that. Bodies are not merely shells. No, they are shells. The rasping voice sounds adamant. A human's existence is more than the existence of its shell. This is obvious to us. There is always something more, something that simmers and shines, for which the dark light and wicked hunger are always reaching. Enough about that. All right. I see you've found your great spirit, Asclepius. I have found a miracle and the end of my worldly road. I have never seen and never will see anything more meaningful than the spirit of Nomos. In the face of its multitude, we are nothing but the fixed values of an erroneous function. You've read the databank recovered from Theodora's cache, and then you said the incident marked the beginning of Nomos. What did you mean by that? Yes, Nomos, remember. You brought us data sustenance, and it contained a name, Epitaph. We recognized it. No, not like that. In that name, we recognized the place where Nomo originates. The people who accompanied Theodora on her travels are strangely unaware of the incident in Epitaph. Human shells are subject to external influences. Perhaps someone purged their memory archives, or perhaps they simply do not want to access them. It is a shame that no new information was obtained, but Nomos are grateful you tried. Raver and... Raver's down. Hold on, we got Pet Sirico. Raver. I don't think we ever spoke to you either. Let's see. The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscles. Blue veins snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman Raver at your service. Does the word epitaph mean anything to you? Can't say they do, Lord Captain. Doesn't ring any bells. Then again, remembering all the places Lady Theodora went his brow furrows. Epitaph, incidents. We've always had heaps of incidents happening on board, but through my implants I feel at one with this ship, and I sense that, and I do not know when it happened exactly, it started behaving differently, became more responsive, livelier. Yes, livelier is exactly the word. And when you said epitaph and incident, it just dawned on me. Pardon my bungled report, Lord Captain, but that's all I've got to say on that front. Remind me, who are you? I'm the Master Helmsman, Lord Captain. I stand at the wheel of this here tub, your vessel, and bark commands at the idiots who tend to its related systems. In layman's terms, I'm the one who stops us from running into an asteroid or disruptive gravitational wave when we're traveling through the void. Do you control the ship in real space? I wish that was my only job. I have to steer her through the warp too, but most of the credit for that goes to the navigator. The warp's a nightmare, always tossing up something new. All my years at the helm, they count for nothing in there. My part's small enough, I just monitor our systems, follow the charted route, and I don't kick up a fuss when new orders come in from the navigator's sanctum. Real space. Now that's where I'll keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, hard radiation. That kind of shit shows up everywhere. Thank the Emperor the augurs on this vessel are holding up, and so far we've been able to spot if something bad's coming our way.
Who are these idiots you're in charge of? There are too many to list them all. Tech priests from the enginarium, voidsmen from the auger decks, the work-shy fools on the bridge. I'd have every last one of them flogged. They all need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape, or else this ship will be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll go somewhere we don't want it to. You must have dealings with the navigators as part of your duties. Raver stares at you before blurting out, "Damn it, Lord Captain. To tell the truth, I've been asking myself that. Where'd the Lord Captain fish this Orselio girl out of? Now, it's not like I've met many navigators, but this one, I don't feel safe with that little princess pulling our void ship through the warp. She's done a decent job so far, though. I guess she's managing." You're a Voidborn, are you not? That I am. Born into a helmsman clan in the bowels of a Chartist vessel. Studied the family trade until I was 15. Then my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by lower-hold scum. They spared the young'uns, of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I was having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me. So I escaped into the crawlways. Then I spent months picking them off, one after the other. Raver stops abruptly. You got me talking up a storm. Anyway, yes, I'm a Voidborn. Finish your story, Raver. I'm interested in this Rambo-like origin you've got here. Raver stays silent for a few seconds. Not much to tell. I gutted everyone I could get to. Then I fled upward to the middle decks. That's where the auger operators took me under their wing. They have apprentice helmsmen up there of their own up there, you see. Nobody asked me any questions, so I stayed. I grew up, trained, got smarter. Then ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Damrock spotted me and lured me away, the cheeky blighter. Do you know anything about a ship named the Fiery Reckoning? Raver winces as if in pain. I've heard the name, that much I'm sure of, but I can't recall the details. Yeah. I wonder if that was part of that operation that the late Mort was put in charge of. If it was, then there's nothing I can tell you, Lord Captain. The whole thing was kept under wraps. Your best chance would be to ask the High Factotum. Maybe some of the treasury records have mentionings of this Fiery Reckoning. Didn't I already ask him? I can see you're not a Gregorius sort. Raver's eye twitches, which makes the grimace of his face even tighter. Have I done something to displease the Lord Captain? On the contrary, you're the first person on the bridge who's not tripping over themselves to lick my boots. The helmsman's perpetually twisted mouth twitches as if he's trying to smile. It looks sinister rather than friendly. Oh yeah? Well, I'm pleasantly surprised myself that you haven't flogged me for insubordination. Will wonders never cease? Raver points at the cables around himself. Connecting wires. Once they go into the control panel, I become one with the ship. Except the bloody cogs messed up the wires, stimulus injectors and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and a splitting headache. So you forgive me if I'm not all smiles, Lord Captain. Tell me about the Voidborn. Raver winces and rubs his temple. Lord Captain, I mean no respect, but you'd be better to find someone with a knack for conversation. Like Toilman, the new Voxmaster. I ain't the talking type. I'll just get the ship where she needs to go. Best let folks stick to what they do best. What can you tell me about the other officers? Good-for-nothing wasters, that's what they are, each and every one. Take Janris Danrock, that high-born weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes would get him burned alive. He drags other people into his schemes so they can take the fall for him. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from Footfall for him, got caught by the Seneschal and ended up in the Void Hatch. Danrock couldn't care less. The Voxmaster, another toilman like the last one, Void rest him, is no better. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up her post, said the Vox systems were damaged and the Enginarium had no contact with other modules. But how am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect the COGS reports with the power of my mind? First Officer Vessarion? Can't stand him. Like every Navy officer I've ever met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void, but he puffs himself up all the same and throws his weight around. Me and him have had to have words a few times before he's left me alone. Thank the Emperor, Lady Theodora trusted me more than the Seneschal when it came to helming a void ship. Then there's that woman. What's her name? Class. Lady Theodora brought her along wherever she went, and look what happened to her. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that it was that witch that delivered her to an early grave, just like countless souls before. I don't see why anyone would want that walking calamity on their ship, but some would disagree. They say she's friends with the young toilman, or at least she used to be. Well, it's funny that you should say Idara might have killed Theodora. Boy, wouldn't you be interested to know who it really was? Still can't believe that was just blurted out with no ceremony. Tell me, do you like anyone at all? Raver looks perplexed. What kind of question is that? I like you, and Lady Theodora before you. Where would I be if I were making cracks about the rogue trader? Huh. I don't want to die just yet. I must take my leave. Lord Captain. Marazai, you're over here? Yes.
Rogue trader.
After what happened on the officer's bridge, how are you coping with the warp crossings?
You granted me territory. Not the kind I'm used to, but more than enough to keep me occupied while this tub cuts through the veil. Your crew know which sector of the ship belongs to me, and apparently they've designated it a dumping ground for rule breakers. It does not matter. Their screams all sound the same. Since the first time, I've been slowly acclimatizing to voyaging through the veil. Only Monkey could have conceived of such a suicidal method of galactic travel.
True.
However, it is novel and exhilarating. At least now I know what I'm facing, and consequently, I will find a way to withstand it. And now it is time to learn what is happening with the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest, leaderless and abandoned to the mercies of Camorra. The survivors will probably be driven into real space to fall prey to Silent Thresh. You must find them. If we encounter the remnants of the Cabal in this dimension, I will want to speak to them. Then go.
Alright, we finally did all that. Now what's next? Go to Footfall. Nameless Star. Okay. Suspicious Ships. Langren's Belt. Okay. Don't know where that is. Footfall. Let's see. Okay. A corpse on the Lord Captain discovers her boots are missing. Fine. Fuck, we never found my shoes. Damn it. Oh well. Alright. Time to level up and then go to a different planet. Jai is briskly counting the treasures that have suddenly appeared in your chambers. Shireen, I decided that it is only right if I return all this to you. No matter how lovely and valuable a gift it may be, it becomes a millstone around the heart when it is obtained by deceitful means. I thought the safest thing to do would be to bring them all here. If I had handed them to Danrock, it would have been a monstrous temptation. And your avaricious factotum does not strike me as someone who is good at resisting temptation. Wait, are these my gifts? Yes, Shireen, tokens of your interest that you lavished upon me as generously as the sun lavishes its light and heat. Is this your way of telling me our relationship is at an end? Well, do you see any kind of future for us, Shireen? Jai speaks with vehemence, almost desperation, like a column of foot soldiers storming a foot. I refuse to close my eyes to what's right in front of me. Ophelia, I am not the one for you. Rogue traders do not keep no-name commoners by their side. This mismatch will diminish you as long as it continues, and when it ends, I will be the one diminished. Jutting her chin, Jai exudes the cold detachment of someone who has already decided everything for herself and who is not troubled by the slightest doubt. I see a different future for us. We do not need to end things. The cold mask falls from Jai's face, revealing what lies beneath it. A tortured expression and tears rolling down her tawny cheeks. And how long will we be able to keep playing the simpleton and the rogue trader? You've a protectorate full of women just like me. Before, I was able to make myself stand out from the crowd, but now with every passing day in your eyes, I'll just become more ordinary, more trivial. I'm like a performer whose props for his tricks have come tumbling out of his sleeves. I need to get off the stage before the crowd start throwing stones and rotten food. I don't want to have my heart broken by you. Jai, Amira, Fithreen, Teremi, Ash, Ifrit, I'm begging you to show mercy. Don't leave me. Jai shakes her head, frowning, but a traitorous smile of hope steals across her face. Stop, now's not the time to play around. Don't look at me like that. Damn it all, I can feel those eyes weakening my resolve even when I know I'll come to bitterly regret it. Jai helplessly throws up her hands. You win, Ophelia. I can't resist your charms. I'll drink the cup of our passion to the very bottom, no matter how bitter the dregs in the last swallow. I am yours. Alright. You know. Wouldn't have expected Jai to be that insecure, but, hey, you know, I guess it's always the most confident ones, right?
Lord Captain, I bring you new information about the Xeno device you discovered during your time away. Ever since your return, the tech priests have been making every effort to comprehend the nature of its mysterious technology, but they have succeeded to an extent. After many rituals and pleas to the machine god, they awakened the Xeno artifact. For but a moment, it produced a holographic copy of a planet and coordinates that matched the location in Landgren's belt. Perhaps you'll wish to see it with your own eyes what this destination holds. Well, we needed to go there anyway. Oh, colony development. So true. Let's see. Foulstone. We can't do the highest ones. What's this? Gain damage for 2 turns and plus temporary ones when it uses their origin ability. Doesn't exactly proc very often. Let's just do that. That's straightforward. Janice. Lord Captain, the Order Xeno's punitive unit, led by Acolyte Lynod Zhu, has arrived on Janus. The Inquisition forces have already taken control of the Governor's palace and intend to deal with the anomalies on Janus.
How much did the Inquisition sniff out?
The initial interrogations have set Lynette Zhu on the tracks of the wretches toward the anomalous region, but her people continue to dig deeper, so to speak.
What think you, officers and advisors? It's a shame that we lost our Inquisitor somewhere. Shame that. Unavoidable situation. If only we could throw them a bone and let them find the evidence they want, one that we can go get by without. The rest could be concealed away from their inquisitive eyes, like a sand lizard shedding its tail. Sometimes one must cede the battle to win the war.
If someone were to walk around my domain so brazenly, they would certainly regret it. Lay open the trap, lace it with poison, put down the bait, and wait for the enemy to end their own worthless life.
I mean, strange how Jai's option doesn't really seem to be there. Marzai, I'm sure you can devise a treacherous trap where our uninvited guests might perish. I can foresee no bad sides to this.
Oh, I love coming up with cunning traps for Monkey.
Lady Zhu, deceived with the intriguing evidence leading her party deep into the jungle. After several cycles, the Agro scouts found the group's dead bodies. The remains of the deceased acolytes were sent to the Inquisition with honors, and Lady Zhu's note sent to the rogue trader's flagship. During her investigation, Lady Zhu had been able to establish that the genetic changes in the organisms of the sickly creatures have been caused by the effects of mysterious substances secreted into the water by the xeno-obelisks. These substances did not contaminate the water until recently, as shown by the analysis of the Magos Biologus. The same xeno-obelisks appear to be linked by a chain of energy communications, also serving as sources of unknown radiation that seem to have caused the outbreaks of contaminated growth in the currently uncontrolled sector of the planet. They also seems to be causing the appearance of the mysterious phantoms. Whenever the wearer deals damage with a melee attack, that enemy must pass a toughness test or die immediately. If passed, they suffer additional agility direct damage. All enemies of difficulty tier 6 or above are immune to this effect. Naturally, you can't kill bosses with this in one shot, obviously, but that's pretty fucking tight. I'll give that to Marzai since he dual wields. Lady Zhu suggested that there is some sort of ancient mechanical construction located on Janus that had awakened them from their slumber, and the anomalies occurring on Janus have been caused by the blasphemous machines trying to start itself. Time. Let me just equip that item while I'm thinking of it. Get rid of the ring. Alright, wait, that's already done? That was fast. I still hate the idea of indulgences. I don't really care about this one, but whatever, go for it, I guess. On Janos, we can do... Janos orbit is swarming with a fleet of refugees. By turning the entire world into an enormous staging point, the rogue trader will save billions of lives. Each time an ally is healed in combat, the damage of this ally is increased by 4% until the end of combat stacks. The thing is, it's so hard to heal in this game. Like, the only one who could reliably heal was... Heinrichs. So, you know. Oh. Janus' orbit is swimming. By welcoming the aristocrats among them on the planet and turning it into a resort, the rogue trader will gain the favor of the higher circles. The wielder gains bonus to dodge and bonus to parry. Enemies hit by this sword suffer... It's pretty good. Fuck it. Yeah, we're a pleasure world now. Let's go. Nothing's happening on Kivia Gamma. Can't do those. This is... make a deal with the pirates. Imperial Navy, let's boost that. Dargonus, nothing happening here. Holy Prophet. Fuck yeah, go for it. Holy Prophet. Vibos. Lord Captain, the mines of Vebos 6 are once again in turmoil. At the depths of level MD Zeta 05, the warders have discovered a mountain of mutilated bodies, as if crushed by the millstones of the mining machines. All the dead are convicts. The guards believe that there is a cult of heretics operating in the ranks of the slaves, offering human sacrifices. The convicts themselves claim that this atrocity was committed on the order of the superintendent to rid the prison of the more inconvenient prisoners. The superintendent tried to reason with the mob of slaves, but was mauled instead. The wardens have managed to isolate the rebels inside the mining facilities, but an assault would result in high losses of workforce. On the other hand, the slaves are ready to lay down their weapons, cease this violence, and repent if the rogue trader would only demonstrate some compassion toward their plight, possibly by reforming some of the more severe punishments. Then who killed the people that were found in the mines? Unknown. The riot made the investigation more difficult. Maybe it was the work of the superintendent, or maybe there is, say, a cell of the Cult of the Final Dawn operating among the prisoners. But there is an oddity on the few picks that the wardens have managed to scrounge together. Using your imagination a little, you can see a certain pattern in the scattered bodies, one that is remotely similar to one these difficult prisoners had been drawing. I would also like to note that level MD Zeta 05 is part of the same tunnel system as the mysterious tunnel we discovered earlier, not marked on the maps. What think you, my officers? Shireen, if the governor and a pack of wardens cannot handle their duties, should they not take the place of their wards? And could there not be worthy administrators among those who oppose them that could do better? A mob of commoners has mauled a noble man who has been attempting to reason with them. How awful. Perhaps the underground madness has spread among them and assumed a new form, turning them into monsters in the process. It would be cruel to kill them if this is the case. It is much more humane to dissect their brains in order to well-meaningly reduce their ferocity and inclination toward disobedience. It had once been done by my house when the serfs had rebelled in their ignorance. A rather merciful step. Fucking incredible suggestion there, Cassia. Absolutely astounding. Killing them, that's inhumane. What the fuck is wrong with you, Lord Captain, respectfully? Instead, we should lobotomize them. It's the only kind way to deal with this, I think. I do not care about the wardens, the convicts, or their problems. I care about the dead bodies. Who left them? That's the important question. If the bodies are not destroyed, then we can conduct divination. The ritual is not very appetizing, but a psyker, not on the squeamish side, could learn more about their death. This is a lot of options, actually. Punish the whole prison, send them to the mines. Punish the whole prison administration. Order them to stop torturing the prisoners beyond reason. Brain dissection. Exterminate. Psycher. Conduct a thorough investigation. This doesn't have an overly obvious answer to me, other than, oh, this tells you what you'll get? Damn, I had no idea you could actually get told what you're gonna get. All allies gain +3 critical hit chance. Okay. Wait, that's the same one. Keen mind. Dodge reduction, 3%. Meh. None of those are really incredible. Punish the whole prison administration. Send them to the mines and gather the new administrators from the prison's population. I will arrange for the investigators from Dragonis to search the convicts' private quarters. The former wardens have been sent to the mines, not all of them surviving even a single day in the company of their former wards. The esteemed convicts, who got on Vabos 6 for venial misdeeds like family debts, have formed a new, more efficient administration. The rules of the mining facilities have been relaxed a bit. The wardens were strictly instructed not to use their electric batons when during preventative beatings, only their fists and feet. And the cruel practice of decimation. The cruel practice of decimation? What the fuck does that mean? Decimation can mean a lot of things. Was replaced with humane deprivation of rations as punishment for not fulfilling the quota. The convicts rejoiced. Fucking incredible. Oh my god. The interrogation also did not yield any information to help identify the one behind the murders that sparked the riot. Level MD Zeta 05 has been sealed. Great job, team. What else can we do here? We can do fucking nothing at the moment, is what we can do there. Alright, let's find Caligos.
Permission to speak, Lord Captain. The Augur crew has registered activity in the orbit of Quetzaltemer, one of the worlds in the Winterscale dynasty. According to the report, the Emperor's Vow, the flagship of rogue trader Caligos Winterscale, is positioned over the southern hemisphere. Vigdis's report is suddenly interrupted by Idara's anxious voice. Lord Captain, this is it. Right here, so very close. The quiet whispers, they won't stop. They keep buzzing in both my ears that my little door is somewhere on this world. Alright, calm down. I need to take care of Winterscale's flagship right now. Of course, Lord Captain, I dare not interrupt you any longer. Gained 0 XP, amazing.
After a brief hesitation, Vigdis's voice comes through the hissing of the static once more.
Allow me to repeat, Lord Captain. The Emperor's Vow, the flagship of rogue trader Caligos Winterscale, has been detected in the orbit of Quetzaltemir. What are your orders?
Is this all you have to report?
No, of course not. Vigdis's voice crackles nervously. The officers are about to extend the range of the wave emitters. In minor turn of the chrono, the Voxmaster reports again. Lord Captain, the data has been updated. Quetzaltemir's largest continent suffered from a moderate Xenos planetary invasion. We also discovered the wreckage of several Eldari vessels on the periphery of the system. Another vessel crashed into the world, causing minor seismic activity. A dozen shuttles of the Winterscale dynasty are patrolling the space directly above the crash site.
I presume the Xenos hunt is in full swing, and the hunter has already caught the scent of its prey.
Throne take me. Beg your forgiveness, Lord Captain. The Emperor's Vow has detected the empowered emanations of our augurs and is requesting permission to initiate Vox transfer. What will you have us do?
Hail the Emperor's Vow.
It will be done.
By the grace of the machine's spirit, the air gradually fills with the discordant noises until the Voxmaster flips the last tumbler in the cogitator's panel.
What the fuck?
What name is this? The Emperor's Vow sends its greetings to the glorious ruler of the Von Valancius dynasty. This is Urbecht Akdef, his lordship Caligos Winterscale's Voxmaster, who has the honor of speaking on behalf of his lord today. The booming voice fills the air, startling a few officers on the bridge. However, you feel that Urgbrecht's Apdiof's ostentatiously confident tone is meant to hide his concern. Not even the void of the cosmos can hide your anxiety, Urgbrecht. Now speak.
By the gold of the throne, the scions of the Von Valancius are shrewd to a man. The Voxmaster loudly clears his throat, looking for the right words.
You see, the Lord Captain had yet another heated argument with the esteemed Incendia Chorter, and he had a very good reason for his displeasure. I dare not discuss his lordship's affairs, but I can divulge that we set out to protect the dynasty's rightful demoness from the invasion of the profane Xenos. This is how we arrived here at Quetzaltemir. There's no better hunting ground when you need to cool off your head, I believe the Lord Captain said. We easily crushed a pathetic mockery of a fleet that was laying siege to the unfortunate world. Of course, most of the Xenos fled, but we did reduce a few of their ships to chum for the Void Beasts. The Voxmaster laughs cruelly.
An Eldari fleet. That means there are many more Kudarok survivors than I dared hope.
A secondary Vox channel transmits your light's voice laden with desperation.
Ilantak, I must go to this planet, to find them, to try to save them.
Fuck, we're gonna have to bring Idara and your light here? I will help you find your kinspeople.
Your light breathes out almost inaudibly and her shoulders relax, and I am grateful to you, Ilantak.
Something tells me the story does not end here. You see, your ladyship, one of the Eldari ships crashed on Quetzaltemir, so the Lord Captain chose to descend and finish off the elusive prey, but he's not been able to find his way out of the local woods for over 30 days now, and this concerns me greatly. Anticipating the next question, your ladyship, no, I am not confident the Lord Captain is still alive. His body and spirit do not break easily. Oh, no, I read this wrong. No, I am confident. The opposite of what I said. And besides, he's accompanied by Wharton the Grey, who would sell his soul if that helped keep the Lord Captain out of harm's way. May Ashram protect his children. We must halt the frenzy of your stellar rival, Alantak, or else by Isha's tears his subjects will not escape retribution. I will try and convince Caligos to seek a peaceful resolution. Hurry up, Alantak, before there is nothing left to decide. How could you not find your master over the course of 30 days? Things are not so simple, your ladyship. The Lord Captain last contacted me from the landing point currently right under the Oath's belly. We lost about a dozen shuttles and several hundred scouts in the first days of the search, all of whom went down to Quetzaltemir and never came back. Our shuttles are relentlessly sweeping the airspace where our people perished. This way, we were able to reduce the search area to just a few thousand kilometers. Only a few thousand. Which still does not change the fact that people in the thicket are disappearing without a trace and something is jamming the Vox communications. Was anyone with Caligos aside from Wharton? A full hunting party consisting of half 100 hand-picked enforcers and his lordship's personal retinue, naturally. What do you want from me? A generous favor in return for a generous favor. Find Lord Captain Caligos on Quetzaltemare and bring him back to the Oath's Vow. I swear by the Golden Throne I will convince him to side with you in any conflict that occurs in the next 100 years. After all, I am allowed to make deals on the Lord Captain's behalf when he remains unavailable. Really, you're only the Voxmaster? So it's a little surprising you have that much power. If I bring him back dead. An excellent way to show Caligos who is the strongest rogue trader in the Expanse. Count me in. They do say that rising stars burn brighter than the old. Ergbat can barely contain a booming chuckle. The data transfer decree has been signed. My crew will send you the landing coordinates. The God Emperor's grace shine upon you for many years to come. The Voxmaster's thundering voice falls silent, and the machine's spirits terminate the connection between the flagships of the two dynasties. Well, let's examine this here. I'm not even going to look at them. Will you say anything different if I come up to you? No. Okay, there we go. Idara needs to cut. Fuck, Idara's only level 17. Who do we leave out? We leave out Abelard, of course. So you need to take your light as well. And Idara said the door is here, so she has to come. Probably Pascal, then? Alright. I'm gonna have to level up so much. Gah. Okay.
I always have a backup plan.
Winter Scale's shuttle awaited its owner's return in vain. Rusted containers for transporting supplies. Their markings indicate they're several centuries old. Attention, Vox broadcast impossible error botanical threat level Alpha 2.
Let us not.
Alright, we got 2 ways. This better not be a maze. I will be mad. The shuttle disappears in the wild vegetation of the island. Several hours pass before the rogue trader finally admits that she has been wandering aimlessly around in circles. Any attempts to get back on track by retracing her steps have failed. Vox communication cannot reach the ship. Now it becomes clear how Caligos Winterscale could get lost on his own world.
I always keep my options open.
The Winterscale search shuttle crashed during its landing. Neither pilot nor the scouting team survived.
Always keep your eye on prize.
Lush overgrowth has sprung up in seconds, blocking the way back. The trail is gone.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Oh god. I see. Ah, must these be such tiny areas? The rich flora of the forest at times staggers the imagination. Among the trees covered in ivy and moss, the rogue trader notices a spiraling pattern of small white lumps on one of the tree trunks. Someone has cut the bark bare, causing the milky sap to flow down the damaged parts of the tree, harden from the heat, and turn into uneven rubbery cocoons. Fascinating.
Keep your wits about you.
Hey, did you see that Eldari Ranger? Oh, Eldariel, Calamine, and Rishta, the Monkey will pay for your suffering. Suffering. Their spirit stones are shattered. Streetan, she who thirsts, has long finished her feast. We will destroy them. Every Monkey who... Did you hear that? The Soul Destroyers are back. Kine, fill our heart with fury.
I will
Of
wipe
course.
your disgusting presence
Hey,
out
love
of
this guy
existence.
that's just chilling here.
Witness Monkey.
Close. What y'all got on you? Is that better when she's using? Alright, she's not actually going to stay with this. Is you better than this? Yes, it is. Okay. Alright. Your light is not going to be staying with us long term here. Where is it? Whatever. Fuck it. I guess I sent it to the cargo or something by mistake. Don't do that. Are these the same? They are. Alright. Now. This is not Jai. I was like, what? I should have sworn that she could equip this stuff. Alright. The bodies of the Eldari were hacked to pieces with extreme brutality. Their wounds indicate it was done by a power weapon of some kind. The soil under the bodies has turned a rusty brown from the gore. Lush overgrowth has sprung up. Okay. Ooh. Tremendous. What's this? This is Drukari. Is this better than something you're using? Yes. Take the grenades, the stimulants, they're just not going to get used. It's just not how it's going to be.
Is there money to be made?
Alright, into the next area. Oh. After several hours of traversing the forest, a small mountain blocks the way. Something about the pattern on the stone seems wrong. A few moments later, it becomes clear that there are cogitator parts glinting at the base of the mountain. The machines appear to have grown into the stone itself, along with the dirt and grass, with the only proof of their artificial origin being the occasional flashes of lumens powered by some random unknown impulses. A carcass is lying on a flat stone nearby, cut open in sacrifice to an unknown god.
Let us not dawdle.
Okay.
I did not imagine the voice of one of the warp spawn. Silent Thresh has sent her servants for me. An honor I am prepared to decline.
The Silentress is desperate to sink her claws into every one of your kind. What did you all do to her, Xenos?
Well, you see, they kind of gave birth to her. You know, they were just so hedonistic that they ended up accidentally making a god. As you do. You know, that's normal. Ooh, buildings.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Hey guys. Forest dwellers welcome the Sky Herald. Of course, brother, of course. A group of lean young people surround you, shooting anxious glances between you and the gray-headed elder who has stepped forward. Unlike the rest, her gray is completely free of decoration. Her skin is completely free of decoration, save for the gray-headed eagle branded on her wrinkled forehead. Speak with gods foresaw our meeting, Starborn. The woman's accent grates on the ears. Her words sound like a fusion of High Gothic and the most vulgar tongue of the rabble. I don't know what that would sound like, I'm sorry. Welcome to the heart of the forest, where Leeds Ahead and her tribe have dwelt ever since the rule of Quetzaltemer himself. This ruler has ordered her tribe to prepare for a feast and warm shelter for our Starborn guests. Please make yourselves at home. The elder shifts her gaze to Ulfar. Great spirit of the eagle god, we are glad to see you. This ruler will have the joints of your iron skin anointed with the oil of dire oak acorns, so that they never corrode, and she will have sacred symbols drawn on your precious skin, so that the spirits of this place may have no fear of you. Ulfar grunts in approval. Hospitality is the banner of a worthy tribe. Respect for the spirits is the banner of a wise one. A fine planet. Food and shelter. Jai's eyes light up. So long to our worn-out boots and sodden cape, Shireen. My home world was a wise rule. Never dismiss the hospitality of those who consider you their overlord. Who are you? We are the children of the fiery mother and the pale father, who look after us by day and guard us by night, the faithful servants of the two-headed eagle god, who shields our lands from misfortune with his wings. We are the ungone forest-dwelling children of the earth, and the guardians of the temple of Quetzalcoatl, the first starborn to have ever set foot on this virgin soil of the land. The eagle's the god, you say? Is it his brand that is burned on your forehead? Oh, yes. The elder nods respectfully. Many seasons have changed since this ruler received the eagle god's blessing and became the leader of this tribe. Only those close to the gods are allowed to bear their brands, and this ruler is one of them. I thought that Quetzalcoatl was the name of this place, but you speak of it as if it was a figure from the past. The legends of this place claim that a long time ago, the first among the starborn descended upon this world together with this ruler's ancestors, created the ancient cities and temples, and brought the blessing of the eagle god onto these forests and lands. The fast-flowing time has erased the starborn's name from the minds of the people. Only his title remains, Quetzalcoatl, the first of the chosen, the sky herald of the eagle god and the father of the tribes. Why do you call me starborn? Because you are the sky herald of the eagle god. Duh. Created by him from the star's glow and the night sky's darkness, the one who carries his seal in your image, clad in the armor of our ancestors' most ancient prophecies. Why was my coming foretold? Like you've never heard that one before, Lord Captain. True. Ah, yes, speaks with gods is the priest of this tribe and this ruler's half-brother. He listens to the forest and calls to the earth. Earth wards off the punishing lashes of the skies and speaks to the eagle god on behalf of our tribe. Before disappearing into the wandering forest, he told this ruler to prepare for your arrival. What else did speak with gods predict? The elder's gaze darkens. Quetzalcoatl is enraged by the invasion of the spirits from the darkness that have called a rain of fire and metal upon this world. He demands blood, and blood shall sate the soil, no matter the path chosen by the gods, who have come to right the wrong. The spirits from the darkness. So that's how the monkey of this world see my kin, as invaders, a calamity. Your light lets out a strained sigh. Yes, obviously. Obviously they would. They came from space, and they're aliens, I wouldn't be surprised if they were receptive. But these Monkey have neither teeth nor claws. They are not even aware of the most basic technologies your kind uses. So then why do my kin burn their world so fiercely? Great question, your light. Maybe elves are also assholes. The elder recoils in fear after making out your light's true face with her half-blind eyes. The starborn will be accompanied by a spirit to put an end to the misfortunes of our world, thus spoke the priest. Seeing a spirit among the living is wrong. Spirits should stay in the spirit realm, and humans in the realm of the living. So you actually think the elves are ghosts, is what you're saying. Interesting. If only you knew, my honorable Damar, how I agree with your every word. Jai casts a knowing glance at your light, but says nothing more. You think several gods have set foot on Quetzalcoatl? This ruler has already had the honor to greet a starborn, as strong as a saber-toothed boar, as nimble as a forest jaguar, that almost fucked me up right there, and wise as the three-tongued guardian snake. Like a whirlwind, he charged into Quetzalcoatl's forest, chasing the spirits from the darkness that had descended upon the world 3 10-day moons before. The Starborn had lost his priest in battle, so he ordered this ruler's brother to help him trace the spirit's footsteps and cleanse Quetzaltemer of their filth. But when Speaks with Gods left his home, something enraged the forest. Thus both the Starborn and this ruler's brother were trapped by the ever-changing paths and lurking evil spirits. The powers of my kin may have disturbed the wild flora of this planet, which then concealed the remnants of the children of the Cruderarch from the wrath of the Arrival. That means they are somewhere in the forest, surviving, hiding, preying on one another. Do you know where your brother and the other Starborn are now? The woman shakes her head. The eagle god Sky Herald wanted to find the den of the spirits from the darkness and destroy it, but the forest of Quetzaltemer is as endless as the skies above. Where the sky touches the forest's edge, the Deadlands begin, the realm of the dead whence there is no return. Something's calling. It's calling and calling. Idara covers her ears with her palms and forces her eyes shut. There, in the place of no return, sits the shadow of the one who is both alive and dead at once. The voices are calling me there, calling so desperately, but why? Why? The elder looks at Idara with genuine reverence, nodding slightly after every word, her mouth half open. This ruler's brother did warn that a priestess from the stars would descend upon this ruler's home in her search for answers, just as he said she would wish to head down the path of death to find reincarnation. How do you even survive in these forests? Speaks with Gods, hears the whispers of the leaves, and can commune with the tree spirits. The entire tribe participates in this soothing rituals, and that allows this ruler and her people to tread on safe paths. In a stern, brusque manner, Ulfar asks with interest, "Offerings of game? Protective amulets on the trails?" After receiving an affirmative answer, he gives a firm and satisfied nod. And how exactly do we conduct the soothing ritual? The ritual requires a site imbued with the powers of Quetzaltemer, the heart of our village, and a priest to perform it. Alas, the fire rain claimed many of his ruler's priests, and thus this ruler's tribe can only pray for the mercy of the Eagle God and his starborn sky heralds. Don't look at me, Lord Captain, I don't know the first thing about this priestly groxwash. It doesn't take a diviner to realize that I'd fry my brains if I tried to mess with some weird ritual. And that's if we were lucky. If we're not so lucky, I'd end up frying everyone else's brains. Doesn't sound too promising, does it? Nevertheless, this ruler knows that you will bring Speaks with Gods home and soothe the forests of Quetzaltemer. The prophecies of the priests have never betrayed our tribe before, and thus this ruler asks you to forget about your worries and rest here in the heart of the forest. Then I wish to rest. It is an honor for this ruler's tribe to serve you, O Starborn. Follow the path of the lights and you will find your shelter, food, and water. When you decide it is time to follow the priest and your Starborn kin, this tribe will pray to the Eagle God himself for your success. I actually want to shake the place down for goodies, but don't tell them that.